Hello, hi everyone. Welcome to my channel. I'm from ACP Eco Sustain Advisory Training PLT. Now today is to support SME, PLC, and individual in achieving a sustainable business growth through ESG guidance and solution. So in your company, have you encountered any chance that it's in the flood? Have your suppliers tell you that they are unable to deliver the material because their factories are in a flood, or the lorry is stuck in a flood? What about your employees? So, and in Malaysia, flood is no longer a monsoon, it becomes so seasoning, so happening. So what about a typhoon? Strong wind blowing off roof and all those. And the reason which is the earthquake that happens in Segamat, something that has been very rare happening. So ESG readiness is actually helping companies to anticipate risk, protect the employees, the suppliers, and to maintain business continuity. There are also cases whereby your client, which is the PLC now, will be asking you whether do you practice any ESG, and in tenders documents or in the suppliers management's criteria, they will ask you to answer those questions that related to ESG. So are you ready? Are you prepared? My name is Carol, and I have another partner called Adeline. So welcome on board. So today is not about theory. I won't be teaching you every single terminology, but it is just to help you to understand what is the ESG overall, where to start, what matters, and how to do ESG without confusion. And when ESG makes simple, E stands for environment, S stands for social, G stands for governance, right? And environment is meaning how do you protect the planet? Social, how do you protect the employee, the people, the community, the government's authority? Governance is actually more related to compliances and whether are you practicing well-being, and then all the laws that is in place, that's all under the governance. Now, in these 8 practical simple steps, all are in detail. So the first one is called know how to start. Number 2, after you know, then you plan who are the people to be involved, what to do first. Then only you start to implement by doing it. And how do you track them? Where we have actually ESG AI tools to support you. And finally, how do you tell your ESG reporting to the authority, to your customers, and even some of the suppliers may be asking it. So for ESG, you look at it, the round circle here, which involve all these departments. So ESG will fail if you just want to target on reporting. Now, there will be times when the consultant do come and help you to do ESG reporting. He will ask data from you. So if you only just focus on reporting, this is not the way to move forward. A well-done ESG actually becomes a business operation system, which means it will involve all those departments that in your organization to things towards sustainability. So fundamentally, it reshape your business operation, yeah. So in your carbon terms, you will come across all this terminology, which I will able to explain to you in our training program, which is either 2 days or 3 days, depend which one you select. I will guide you through what is carbon footprint, what is renewable energy, what is carbon offset, what is carbon capture, and carbon credit. All these terminologies are quite common. Carbon tax, something now Malaysia already imposed, and Singapore already imposed 3 years ago. And the rate changes every year, yeah? Then you will come across measurement impact, what is GRI, TSI, TCFD, what is scope 1, scope 2, scope 3, and example SDG with the 17 goals. So all these are very detailed. So, and the other thing is that now, why people find ESG confusing is because they mix what is rating, what is framework, what is standard. So how does layman able to differentiate these three things? So standard is actually define what to report. What do you report here? Standard. So when you use what to report and how to report, you use GRI, you use FRS. Now in Malaysia already confirm using IFRS. So you need to, which I'm going to share detail later. So you need to just focus on this standard. And then what is framework? Framework is a guide how your company actually manage and disclose. So you think that you want to confirm using TCFD, then is the framework that you will adopt. And rating is whereby you use this single rating across the industry. So if every what they will call that construction industry, they will use FTSE, then they call it FTSE for good. Then the standard will be the same. So you cannot be one using this standard, another use another standard, which is called this rating. This is what is it about. Now, for example, a company use this framework, TCFD, to identify climate risks and governance. And then they use this standard report to report what the framework is about. This is why people find it is confusing, yeah? But don't worry, today is not theory. So industrial specific priority. What industry are you in? Are you in manufacturing? Are you in agriculture? Are you in transport storage? Are you in construction, real estate, or energy? Now, in manufacturing, you actually use a lot of fossil fuel, you use coal, you use hydro, which is all these are very carbon emission produced that making more global warming into the industry. In agriculture, example, your tractors that you use, and then the fertilizer actually is a kind of carbon, it's the chemical. Then in transport, actually is very high, like example by air, by road, by ship, and railway actually the least. So which is why in transportation, they encourage us to use EV car rather than the conventional. And we always encourage people to use LRT, MRT because, and carpool, so that there is not so much carbon emission. In construction, a lot of people use steel and cement, and these two actually produce very high carbon emission from the coal and all the other manufacturing products. The energy will be solar panel, hydro, and renewable energy, all falls under energy here. So where and how do we begin? That is always the question mark. So sustainability adoption can be a very well-guided process. So here in this 2 hours, this will be the guidelines I'm going to share with you, which is why I say it is simple. So the number one and number two, your awareness, understanding sustainability for all level in your organization, all level, regardless one, because everyone action actually will save the company in terms of waste, in terms of carbon emission, in terms of cleanliness, in terms of social. So everyone should be aware what is the company new direction towards sustainability. Then you form the step, the baseline, and from there, which is the know-how. Then you plan your strategy. What missions or what you want to start first? Because there's so many things that you can do. But then you strategize those low-hanging fruit. Low-hanging fruit means things that is easiest to start with. And then the action takes place. So you may need to even get a group of key champions. It cannot be just one person, one department to in charge of it, because you collect data from everyone in your organization. Then numbers 5 and 6, how do you track when you have all this data? Who's going to key in all this information? You have to track all those data. This is only for this year. What about for next year? What about the previous year? How do you do all this tracking? And then with this way, we have a dashboard, we have an AI to support your needs. So after you have this data, and so how are you going to tell your story? How do you report it? So all this will be coming soon. Now, so come back to your know-how, which I already said, your understanding has to be in all level, and then you do a strategy setup. So building your foundation. Obviously, most important, your boss must wants to do ESG. Okay? By him understanding it, why ESG is important for his company, because whether you like it or not, your customer will ask you for an ESG reporting. It's a matter of time. It is a matter of time. Because when Bursa Malaysia already pressed on the PLC, when Bank Negara already pressed on all the bankers, everyone needs to do, and you are the suppliers to them, you have to do it. So as the boss, the foundation is that the boss needs to do it, understand what to do it, and then only able to get the understanding of certainty of everyone, people's engagement in your company. And next, only do a baseline identification and structure setup. So I'd like to ask you, what are your challenges and what are the solutions? So why ESG feel difficult? Why does ESG feel so hard? Now, we did a survey, not us alone. I mean, we got big groups of people and just a general collection from SME. And these are the answers given. And is it related to you? They are answers like too many terms and standard, which is why I've shared just now. There are so many terms, standard, and rating. The fear of high cost. Wow, I need to change all the lights to LED. Is that going to cost me a lot of money? I need to do solar panel. I need to do process change. All these cost money, and there's a fear. Unsure where to begin, which is very common. Who should start in your organization? Where do I begin? Which department to begin? Thinking that ESG is going to be a long report, because as though your PLC, you look at PLC sustainability report, they are thick, They are thick, can be right into 100 pages. So you thought you're going to be like that, so no. So this is the misunderstanding about ESG. So the office staff, they are not willing to cooperate. You may send them to training, but ends up because they don't understand where to start. So that is why they are not willing to cooperate. And employees, they always tell me this is not my problem. This is my boss' problem. This is my company's problem. So I'm not going to do it. So when you face all these challenges, what you're going to do? So for ACP, we have solutions with this. This is two of it. Now, we have went to attend this climate fest, which is the number 2. It is a card that actually able to let your staff to play within 1 hour. They will understand in detail what is global warming, what is climate change, and how individual able to support the change, the mindset change, just by playing this card in my training program. Now, the next thing, inner development goal. This is so crucial now. Since the Paris Agreement in 2015, the countries, 179 countries, meet up together, all the governments meet up together, they agree that they must do something towards the climate change. 2015 until 2026 now is how many years? 11 years. But there is so little changes. It's not enough change to actually support the climate from not going beyond 1.5 degree increase. All this is happening because of people. People are the one who do not understand the purpose of their contributions towards climate. This is why the change is not moving as fast as we want to be. So it's all about inner self. If you do not understand the purpose why you want to do something, nobody will do it. So it's no longer that top down. It's no longer when the boss tell you during lunchtime, nobody in the office, please off the light. You don't need to even tell your staff that when you walk in the factory, reduce waste. You don't need to always tell your HR department, is there any flexibility in our working environment? So all this is because the person understands the purpose of E, S, and G. So I personally went all the way to Sweden to attend this IDG World Summit 3 years ago, and I visited them every year. Then I'd like to share this detail with you because it does and proven by many companies who use IDG framework in the organization, it does make changes. Now, why some company, you see your competitor company, or you see some other company, why is the staff like taking the company like their own business? Why? And why isn't my staff are not like that? Why is there a passion? Why is that they believe in doing it correctly, but not in my organization, or not my colleague, not my peers, or not my other departments, the head of department? Why are they not like that? This is all because of people. So it is people-centric. So this is IDG, is the leadership framework. You look at this, on the first pillar, 5 of them being thinking, relating, collaborating, acting. And out of these 5 pillars, there are 25 skills. It may become common to you when you go for leadership training, motivation training. They are almost all there. But in detail, being is actually cultivate our own inner life. How many times have you ever walked in the green, in the garden, and enjoy the nature that you have? Have you actually play in the rain to appreciate the environment that you are? Or are we taking for granted that air is free, air is fresh? Do you wear mask? You need to wear mask. So being is all about nature. It's about your self-awareness, and something which is very close to me is present. A lot of time when you sometimes go for the meeting, are you present? Present means you are there. You are focused. Just like today's session, thank you so much for still staying here with me. So you are being present here and not thinking somewhere else that you need to go and solve problems, you need to go and attend to somebody's request. No, present is present. So how much do you appreciate when your employee actually sitting down and listening to you, or your client is actually listening to you? So this is present. After that, you start to think, you do critical thinking on the complex world that we are in. You actually be creative of what the situation. And next, how do you relate this information? How do you get connect with another person? Do you appreciate and are you appreciated? These are relating on people. Then only you talk about collaboration. How do you work together as a partners? How do you do communication skill? Communication skill itself is a strong skill that not everyone able to practice. How do you communicate your message that people understand what you want, and let them do their style. Don't try to even control the style. You just tell them the result that you want. How they want to do it, let the youngsters, let the other person use their own style, because culture are different. So if you just want this to be the end result, they were able to think of their own critical thinking, their own creativity, and how do they connect with another person to come back with the result that you want. Then only you talk about your acting, your engaging change. How do you encourage the groups to continue to improve your proactive? So all this is a 1 day training. So with all this skill, remember the 1 day training, with all this skill, and I will embed it into ESG, then only you're able to allow your employees to engage in this skill into ESG practice. Okay, again, it's always people. Yeah? Your organization will not succeed if you do not have the right people. So I went to Sweden, and these are the people that I actually met, the directors of global collaboration, the senior strategy innovators, and Mr. Daniel actually is the one who wrote this book, Developing Mind. There are more than 1,000 over people, academia, the business people in the industry actually came up with IDG framework in 5 years ago, okay? And I went there 3 years ago. So all these are from Harvard University, MIT, and organization like IKEA, Novartis, EY. All these, you see, all these companies are part and parcel of already practicing inner development goal, and Volvo is there. So here, globally now, there are 700 network hubs. Every country have it. In Malaysia, I am the only Malaysia ambassador for IDG. So after you understand IDG, like example, your IDG dimension is thinking, and you use the skill critical thinking, then only you find out what is the ESG indicator. Example, you want to reduce energy. So this is your indicator. With your indicator on emission is related to environment, and under environment of the SDG goal is number 7, affordable and clean energy. So when you practice environment, you will actually able to do your SDG goal. This is how this whole journey works about. And this will be one of the case study which I'm going to guide you through in our training program, very detailed, so that when you reach your office, you will know how to explain it back to your peers, your colleagues, your management of using this same skill. So this is the example. Another example is that I will map this IDG in the ESG learning outcome. So relating. When you do relating, the core capacity, the skill is about culture awareness, stakeholder sensitivity. So your ESG learning is on the social. So how do you do relating with the social engagement with the community example? So Malaysia community engagement in ESG project, social impact. Another thing like your orang asli, you can also engage with them, your B4. So you choose one of the, which I mentioned here, your indicator, your ESG indicator first. Then only you choose what are the dimension and skill. So I'm very proud that I was given the opportunity to share ESG IDG training program 1 day, also on webinar. And there are 44 students. Some of them are already intern or working. Some of them are newly graduates and looking for a job. So the government actually wanted the new graduates to understand ESG before they actually goes into workplace. So I'm glad that I share this session. Okay. So when we finish, we give them the assessment form. We ask questions on what are the key learning objective of this training. And on the area of understanding, explain one concept that you found most valuable. The best was, to my satisfaction, is that it's not the fees that they offer by university is actually not a lot. But the satisfaction that I get is that I only speak 2 hours out of the 7 hours on IDG, and yet the people can remember what they have learned. Some of them say that the most valuable that they can understand is the IDG framework, how to carry out projects that involve community adopting IDG. IDG helps me in personal growth as well because she or he is an introvert. So IDG is very powerful, and this is proven. So after you have do your initial knowing who are the people in your organization to get involved, now you plan. So planning is your strategy and the stakeholder engagement, who are the key champions. So in strategy, there will be many steps to go about doing it. And obviously, your boss is very important. The key persons to say yes, go, because anything is always the head to say that where do we go? What is our vision? What is our mission? So from there, the people down the line will know how to be aligned to the vision and the mission of the organization. The action is on your, let me move this one. The action is the engagement and the initiative. Then the group of people will come up with what are the low-hanging fruit that they can start off. Okay, so people all sit down to discuss how often you all need to discuss which department do we start first. Now, here, there's something I'd like to share with you. In our current, most of the organization, we choose either linear economy, recycle, or circular. Now, linear economy is always that when you have purchased, you have take something from your suppliers, you make it, then you sell it to a consumer, you use it, and then the consumer throw it. So this is the one line linear. The second economy is about you take it from your suppliers, you make it, you use it, and then some of them is actually able to recycle back, then only throw it. However, the best is to use circular economy, meaning the waste of another person can be recycled again. Recircular, sorry, is the recircular. Because in circular economy, there are many there. Reuse, recycle, repurpose, remanufacturing, and I think more than 10 of them. Yeah. So it's all come back to how do you design your products. So the product design, when you start, where does it ends? So you design it, you make it, you store it, the consumer use it, and then you can able to regenerate. Example, food waste. So whatever there's unfinished waste, can it be repurposed? Can it be circular? Can it be circulate? So the food waste can actually turn into fertilizer. So now even in coconut hash and then the banana trunk, all these are able to recirculate back to another purpose of products. So product design are very, very important. So after that, when you know your planning, who are the people involved, now you want to track what are the data that we have that I want it to align to my company goals. I want to track it, and how do you implement it? The Sustainability Committee target actually is using all this framework to track your data. And good news is that SCP had developed together with a very important person who are strong in ESG. We call him Mr. Greenman because he earned the title Mr. Greenman in 2018. Together with my partner, Mr. Leo, to come up with an ESG framework simplified enough that SME can just use it by keying the data. So, okay, let's welcome Leo on board to explain the detail. Now, so since he's not so ready yet, I will now continue with this slides. Now, come back to your circular economy. When you finish all this, you were able to come up with your carbon footprint report. This is where this carbon footprint report that you give it to your customer, the PLC customer, to the banker when you want to apply for the green loan. Okay? More so if you do export market, they will ask you the carbon footprint reporting. Now, how do you implement it? How do we implement it? Okay, now knowing that these are the things that I need to do, but how do I do it? So ACP is able to help you out on the low-hanging fruit by having collaboration partners. Some of the examples is food waste. If you are in a factory, there will be food waste. So canteen, there will be food waste. So stuff, unfinished food, there will be food waste. What you do is that you do food waste processing, whereby we actually able to sell you this food waste composite process for you to throw the waste and turn it into fertilizer after 4 hours, right? Then we also have collaboration partner who is the e-waste electronics, whereby you can throw your handphone, your laptop, because some of them is just some technical issue, some buttons is not working, the keyboard is something that is not working. So e-waste is not easy to throw, yeah. It is something that is controlled. So this company actually will collect this example laptop, and they are very good because they also tie with Minister of Human Resource, whereby they engage those that is school dropout to take on the technical skill, whereby they will teach them how to repair laptop. After it has been repaired, it will repurpose and sell it to the B4 at a rate which is about 200 ringgit. So the computer that you think is not working, it will be a circular economy to another person. So it is not waste actually. So we have e-waste electronics. We have our own ESG reporting software for you to start with. We also have another whereby clothes. You see, ladies, a lot of clothes on, you know. I am one of them who has so many in my wardrobe that unfinished. So do housekeeping, check household, what are the clothes that I'm unable to wear anymore because change of size or the fashion, or you think that it is not suitable when you are on certain occasion, so you don't wear it anymore. You can actually recycle them by usual shopping mall. They also have this bin that you can actually give away the clothes. So we also partner with this company who will collect it from you and repurpose it. They actually segregate them in terms of sizes, in terms of brand, in terms of material, like baju kurung, kebaya, then if it's jeans, or is it a dress, is whatever. Is it for children? Is it for women? Then they actually repack it and sell it to third world. Right? Some of them they cannot be used. They will cut it and repurpose to make it into other things. So we also have these partners. So by doing all these things, by by throwing the food waste, by donating the clothes, all your electronic things, you already start to do ESG. You already implement ESG. The other very good important news is that we also partner with banks to guide you how to apply green loan. So there are criteria for you to deal with. So from the AI system that you key in your data, put it up the report, we will match you to the bank criteria. Okay? So these are the detail of the food waste processing. This is in Penang, whereby in their factory, they actually utilize the piece of land here to plant as an urban farm. They also have this composite waste in their canteen for them to use that waste, the fertilizer, for the urban farm. So it's a circular. So this is Mr. Greenman. So what he's saying is that farming need not to farming in Cyberjaya or Putrajaya, where she was there, can be on vertical like this. So it creates coolness in the building because it's covered by the plants. So cost saving. So Nike actually using a lot of their material, 70% of their product footprint by using existing plastic, reusing existing plastic, yarn, and textile, which significantly reduce their carbon emission because they don't use the virgin products anymore. So recycle the leather fibers in their shoes. Carlsberg, and I like this example. You see, usually the box are square. By just cutting the round corner design, it reduced the empty space in the box by 4.2%, making it lighter 17% compared to the 90 degrees corner. But the best thing that this design is this design shift is expected to save up to 2.24 tons of CO2 annually for Carlsberg. And this is in Poland, yeah. So you products redesign. And what about having sensor light in your organization? So this again is energy efficiency. So all these are able to practice in your organization, including the implementation that I mentioned just now, this one. The next thing is that recently I attended the ESG, the STAR Positive Impact Awards. So they have few categories. There are people on the environment, whether it's water management, waste management, renewable energy, and the energy efficiency. There are people who have submitted their application on social, whether you do diversity, talent management, good well, and good health, or on the governments. They also have the Star ESG Award, also have other category where you practice sustainable supply chain transformation. You can also submit your company journey to them. So the age also have it, but because I attended the STAR recently. So here you will see that the most outstanding ESG initiative in 2024 was won by Heineken. And what they do is that Heineken, I think, yeah, they do waste management as well as water. So water, they rank the best award on the environment. And so these are under the large organization and SME. So SME themselves also submitted their ESG journey. And you can see who are the people who actually won the award. And under social, the winners are from this under the PLC. These are the winners. So obviously you see company like Sunway, Harta Lega, RHB Bank, Alliance Bank, and it depends which category you want to submit. And for the governance, it was won by Kenangan Investment. For others like sustainable supply chain, so Sunway again won the award on this one. For SME to mid-tier company, again, don't forget SME is already practicing ESG and they are the one. So Volvo Malaysia wants for the social because they practice on diversity, and I love this story that's been shared by their group sustainability officer. And above creative event, there are event organization. Event organization, they are not manufacturer, yet they also practice ESG. So this one is just a sharing with you all. Okay, I like this Stephen who won the award whereby they use recycle rejected gloves. He collect it from our glove manufacturer like Superman, Catalega, Top Glove, and in hospital a lot of gloves. Even beauty line also a lot of gloves. So all those rejected gloves, he actually repurpose it to make into eco sole. So the sole here. And now he actually realized that not only gloves I can, rejected gloves, I can repurpose it. They also repurpose sawdust into tiles. Yeah, converting sawdust into floor mat. Sorry, it's a floor mat. And then the Levi jeans into your cup coaster. That means your cup holder. When you drink beer, you have those cup holder, right? They use jeans to make into it. So these are the things that you can practice on your product design or repurpose it into circular economy. Now comes to report. How do you do report after what you have done? Reporting is very crucial, and so is storytelling. For reporting, we again, as I said, we have the ESG reporting software, and now I think Leo is ready to explain to you what is this reporting is about. So here I'm giving you some of the example before Leo explain. Is that sometimes your customer could be giving you lengthy question A and is asking you to be and these are also being audited by third party. So if you understand their question, then you were able to give them the right answer. Example, can we trust you won't create any reputation risk? This is a question. So it's actually trying to tell you, do you have the basic policy on human rights, anti-corruption, environmental management in layman term? Then he said, do you understand your impact, your company impact to the environment? So actually it means, can you measure your carbon footprint? Do you know your waste stream? So you must understand the question to be able to give the right answers to them. So they ask another question, are you improving? So which actually telling you what you are done today, are you going to doing better year after year? This is the pain, the challenges that some SME actually have approached me, and this is how we giving them the consultancy and the advice. Now, how do we do calculation? Now, in carbon calculation, there is actually a standard factor already built in. And happening, this factor is global, meaning whether you're in Europe, in Japan, in US, in Australia, in global, in India, this factor is the same. So if you key in your electricity kilowatt, you times the factors, it will come out to be your emission, which is kilowatt, carbon emission to equivalent. It's standard. So in our system, you just need to key in your data into it. So I will leave it now to Leo to do the explanation.
Okay, good evening everyone. So this is our Smart S3 platform, the ESG plus AI platform. So this is the first page. When you access to the website link, this is the first page, and this will be the login page. Okay, so you are required to key in your email and then password to log in. So now I have keyed in my email and password, and I press the sign in button, and this will be the first page after you log in. At the left header here, it will mention the platform logo and then the version number, and here you can switch multiple language, notification, and then light mode or dark mode, and then your username will be showing here, your profile, and also you can perform the logout. At the left hand side, this is the sidebar. Here will show your username and also the company name that you have logged in, and it will show all the features that your company have subscribed to our Smart S3 plan. First feature, we have SEDG protocol, we have GRI protocol, IFRX protocol, we have GSG entry, and also the compiled GSG result, these few features. Now, the main page here, at the content page here, in the dashboard, it will show you your current plan. So let's say your plan is basic plan, and you will only have up to 10 GB storage usage, and also your company can maximum have 5 accounts. So here will show, the first row will show the total usage of your storage. For now, you can see my company used 0 GB out of 10 GB, and my company have 2 users out of 5. And after that, the next row will be a breakdown chart based on my scope 1, scope 2, scope 3 calculation, and also the monthly emission breakdown for the current year. So you can see scope 1, we have how many ton CO2, and scope 2, indirect emission, we have how much ton CO2, and scope 3, and then the last one will be the total. And here is a monthly breakdown for the emission factor for the year 2026. So you can see the red color is scope 1, yellow is scope 2, blue color is scope 3. And you can just press on the color that you want to hide to view the specific scope breakdown by month. Now, next I will talk about the GHG entry and also the GHG calculation. Okay, now we will continue to the GHG entry protocol. So our ESG platform, we do provide the GHG entry management features to allow user to key in all the necessary information to calculate the emission factors. Okay, now first step is, if let's say you want to start a new years of calculate the GHG entry, you can press on the add GHG entry and then select the year you want to key in. For example, you want to key in 2026, year 2026, you just select and then press on the create. For now, I already have a GHG entry for year 2025. So I will not create a new one. And then when you create, you can press on the action buttons, the edit buttons here. Because I already finished the calculation, so here we will show the status, complete calculation. And then to view the details, you can press on the view button. Our AI platform will base on your company needs and also the business industry to customize the question you need to key in. For example, now my company we have used EV car, so we will show EV car, and also we only have motor gasoline and also the light duty trucks. So I will only see all these three questions instead of showing all the scope 1 available question to confuse that will confuse the user and make them very difficult to key in. Our AI will auto customize what kind of question that the business, that your company require to key in. So we have a few sector which includes scope 1, scope 2 and scope 3. We have mobile combustion, stationary combustion, refrigerant. So you can see that no emission factors for this tab because my company is not using refrigerants. It's not using any refrigerant, so I will not have to key in. The AI help me to remove all the question for refrigerants. Electricity, it will auto select for me Peninsula Malaysia. We have staff commute, so this is all the staff commute transport that the staff will use. We have air travel, hotel, shipments, material, waste, and water. And you can key in month by month for the whole year. And after you key in, you can go to the compile GHG result to view the result that you have keyed in. For example, I pick the January. Now you can see for EV car, okay, we have 1000 value that key in by the user, and then here is the calculation result, how many CO2 tons for the EV car have been commute, how many CO2 have been commute by the EV car, and then for motor gasoline, how many CO2, how many CH4, N2O, all these units. Alright, next we will move to GRI protocol, and this is our AI GHG modules. Now I will start introduce the GRI protocol. After you press the GRI protocol at the sidebar, this will be the first page content to display to you. This is a GRI management module. It will list down all the years that you have keyed in for GRI protocol. And then to start a new year GRI protocol, to start to key in a new GRI protocol, you can press on the Add GRI Entry button at the top right corner of the listing box. Then you key in the year you want to generate the GRI report. For example, I already have a 2025, so I will not create. I will use this as a demo. After create, I press on the action button here. Now, this is all the GRI assessment question which you can find in Google's or GRI protocol website. And then in this page, you can see there is a title, GRI assessment, and then the year you have selected to key in. And here you can back to the GRI list by press on this button. Below the button we have 3 tabs: part 1, part 2, and part 3. Part 1 is foundation, part 2 is general disclosure, and part 3 is material topics. So for part 1, we have all these tabs. You can sub-tab, you can choose to key in. Once you're done to key in for each of the question, for each section of the question, you have to press the save button to save it. And you can see we have a lot question for GRI and also for this company. Once you're done, the AI will generate an GRI assessment report for you by using the button here. So this is all about the GRI protocol. And next, we will talk about IFRS protocol. So in IFRS protocol, we require the user to first key in the SASB to define clearly on your industry, to understand clearly on your industry. Then only we go to the ISSB standards. How is this works? Press on the entry button here, reporting date. You can select any dates and then 2026 annual report. Select the industry. For now, I will select multi-line specialty retailer distributor. After create, press on. You can edit your information by press on the second button here. But before we edit, first I want to introduce you this table. So what is this table? This is all the IFRS entries you have keyed in. And you can see we have 2 lines of records. First is 2026, which is I created just now, and also the 2025, which is previous one. And then we have a status. For a new one, is under draft. For those already complete the SASB, it will show SASB complete. So now let's have a look into the 2025 first. How is this? Oh, sorry. Let's have a look on the record we just created, 2026. Now, you can see we have 2 tabs, and the ISSB tab is not able to click. Why? Because we have to follow the procedure. Key in the SASB first, then the AI will evaluate your SASB record. Then from there, we will generate what kind of question you need to key in for ISSB, the IFRS protocol. So this is all the question the SASB will ask energy for the multi-line specialty retailer distributor. Each of the industry may have different SASB and ISSB question, and also the question is based on your company needs to generate by the AI. So we have energy management, we have data security, labor practice, and so on. Once we complete, you can press on the complete SASB. If let's say when you key in, suddenly you need to clarify with your colleague, you can press on the save buttons. No worries, the data will not submit, and also it will not submit to the system, but it will keep in your local PC as a cache. Then you can continue back whenever you are available. For now, I will continue with the 2025 first, as this is already complete for SASB. Press on this button, and then you will see, because of I have completed the SASB, there is a tick icon here, and then I can press on the ISSB tab. And this is all the question the AI generates for me based on what I have keyed in on SASB, and also based on my company industry and also my company practice. We have two box here. We have IFRS S1 and also we have IFRS S2.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Leo, for your detailed explanation. I'm sure when in our training program, we will be giving these AI tools for you to key in the training program to actually practice it. You bring your bills, you tell us what is your waste, you key in all those information day and then in the training program to channel the reports to your needs. So it is half a day for to understand in detail how to use, because in our training program, if it's the in-house training program, this AI tool will be given as a free use for first year. Okay. So after the data key in, now which is what Leo had mentioned just now, you must able to tell the storyline. We also have another partner, which is the ESG consultant that helps PLC. I think they already have almost 70 plus PLC, which is their customers, in writing thick reports. So yeah, not necessarily you have to write a thick report. Most importantly is that whether you practice what you want to say in your storyline. What you actually practice is not, then you are deemed to be greenwashed. I mean, you sock sundry only again, you never do it, but then you will write it. That is wrong. Yeah? You're not supposed to do it that way. So and in year 2027, there will be a third-party sustainability assurance officer to actually goes to PLC and public listed company on SME, or they call it non-large organization, non-large company. That means you're a big SME, to actually check what you state in your report that you actually practice in your organization. There was one example whereby the company payroll mentioned they have 20 foreigners. But then in another report, they say they only have 10 foreigners. So when the auditors actually go in, sustainability auditor actually check through, it doesn't tally. So be careful what you write, yeah. But when you key in the information in the data, the AI software that is offered just now, that shown by Leo, all the details will be there. So you don't need to remember what has gone wrong, because what you key in will channel the storyline for you. So these are the conclusion of some of the reports that align with FRIS 1. He will also give you what are the things that you can do, should do, or what are the areas that you can improve. So you can even come up with different version. If you doesn't want FRS S and rather want S2, you can also channel it into GHG, greenhouse gas reporting, because the system actually able to come up with many versions of standard. Now, why all this happen is because Bursa Malaysia and Malaysia government have already practicing national sustainability reporting framework in 3 groups. Okay, if your client or you yourself is a PLC in the main board with a capital of more than 2 billion, 2025 last year, you already have to report your FRS S1 and S2. And in 2027, next year, which is going to be only 10 months away, yeah, not a long, 10 months away. So it's only about 300 days, you know. You have to even report the Scope 3 GHG. Scope 3 is your supplier. So which is why your customer, if a PLC and you are the SME, he will ask you to give him your ESG report, because in another 300 days, that means in 300 days, he will want you to give him the report, and you have to be ready. You got to be ready, unless you change your customer lah. Okay. So for those that is main listing, but other than group 1, which means to say that you are below 2 billion, you will have to do it this year, and to do your Scope 3 GHG in 2028. If you're in the ACE market, you will have to do it in 2027. So for ACE market companies, please start sending your employees for ESG training with the right tools, and start doing it now, so that by year end, in your annual report, you already come up with a sustainability report to comply to what Bursa Malaysia needed. And again, for large what do you call this? Large non-listed company, large non-listed company, SME, you too needed to do your reporting as well, FRS 1 or SRS 2, including your Scope 3. Okay, you are also part of it. So everyone is part of it. Everyone needs the suppliers to submit their report. So you are impact, and you have to be ready. So these are the details about SRS S1, S2. So all this detailing will be shared in the training program. Now, Scope 1, Scope 2, Scope 3. So I just want to generally tell you, Scope 1 is your direct emission, your company car, the company's facilities. Scope 2 are the indirect emission, that you purchase energy like from TNB, or whether hydro, the steam that you use. This is a Scope 2 indirect emission. Scope 3 is all from your upstream, which is your supplier, downstream is your customer. And there are 15 categories. All these like business travel, employees, community, the capital goods, the purchase. Because when you purchase goods, the supplier send things to you, they got emission. The lorry trucks got emission, yeah? And then the downstream, when you send it to your customer, your lorry truck will be the carbon emission when you send from point A to point B to your customer. So all this already in the AI tools, whereby you just need to key in the data. And we have already upskilled, whereby you can actually PDF scan your documents. You will able to generate the data for you as well. So detailing of Scope 1, Scope 2, Scope 3. You see, so much information. So there's no way I can able to explain in detail. So the 2 days class, 3-day class will be very detailed into this one. Again, Scope 3. Scope 3 is the most difficult to collect data. Okay? So they will also tell you the action to reduce your Scope 3 emission. How do you able to reduce, example, business travel? So don't travel so much, whereby have more Zoom meeting, example. You reduce traveling. If you travel, then go by train, don't go by air, because air have the highest carbon emission. So going green is about using less waste. Waste management is, always remember, if you don't throw the waste in the landfill, then you are actually practicing circular economy. Okay, so less waste will actually improve your profit. So why you want to create ESG and what are the values for the company. First thing is to hire and retain top talent, because now the youngsters actually will want to protect the only one planet that we have. We have only one planet, so it is for generation after generation after generation. So the youngsters actually taking effort and make sure the company practice ESG. You protect the environment or not. So it is for investment opportunity, because investors now look for company who will practice ESG, because they know you are doing things that is reducing the global warming that is going to happen in 2030, 2050. So many companies will put it net zero in 2050. That means they do not want to have carbon emission in 2050. Cost reduction, revenue growth, less waste, then you comply to the regulation. So these are the roadblock of why organization face today of not doing ESG. Silo is one of them. Nobody wants to get involved. There's no ownership. Okay, data inconsistent. Some people may be keeping it into one of the software, but it's not shared across. So data are inconsistent. Some of them are in the project side. Some of them are in the other branch. So data are not accumulative collected. So all these are all the challenges that you can overcome. So we also provide the advisory role in your organization, which is beyond training. Now, decarbonization. Decarbonization is how to reduce carbon. And banks now actually, Bank Negara wants the bank to give out more green loans to encourage people to decarbonize, reduce carbon. So again, it's fortunate that ACP is expanding our partnership. So these are the partners that I mentioned earlier. We also have partners that is providing energy efficiency. I also have another partners who actually monitor your AC. If you are the manufacturer, have a cooling system, they actually have a device to actually helps you on energy efficiency. So energy efficiency alone or renewable energy, there are many players in the market. And some of them are Malaysian, yeah. They produce it, make in Malaysia to support you. So in my organization, I actually also do circular economy partnership. So what that company can do actually able to help another company. So I group them together like a page, like a yellow page that you can search among yourself. So I do that connection as well, circular solution connection. So with this, I'd like to end the sharing session and thank you again for all your time. I will be having the training in March for you. And if you are in-house corporate training, you have to have minimum 5 packs to the maximum 20 packs. The venue you will decide because it's the in-house, which runs for 3 days. Okay, so it will consist of the ESG in detail. You will also have a half day on the ESG practice. There'll be case study and 1 day on IDG. And I also have team building, because I believe that when people have activity, they remember better. Now, training is not what you attend for 3 days. Training is after you have attended, you go back to your office, you can pass this message across to your organization, to your colleagues, to support sustainability in your organization. And I always believe that it's not just the number of days. Yeah. So with this one, we were having a special promotion, which is 12,000 ringgit for 3 days. And as I mentioned, there will be the first year AI ESG solution system inclusive. For the public program, I'm going to have it is all HRD of claimable. The special promotion rate is 3,000 ringgit for 3 days. Correction is going to be March to May. So every month I will be running it. So later you can see the March date first, yeah. So if you are not HRD claimable, you cannot claim, please contact us. We will work out something which is suitable for you. So again, for in-house, we have to discuss the date because I can't give you a date now because every company are different. I will even have to go to your organization to understand your current business situation before I customize it to your industry needs, your current human resources, your current talent that you have to do a 3 days program for you. For the public, the date is on 16 to 18 March. Going to hold it in PJ, where you can take LRT there. Now, for the ESG training, we will connect you to two of our ESG connector, whether you want to do on the textile recycling, on the e-waste, the bank, yeah, if you're ready, on a green loan, or you want to do an assessment also can, and on the food processor. Also, the other thing is that risk management is something so crucial. I will also, and many company actually overlook on insurance protection. But if, on the other hand, if you just want to get into the AI ESG reporting solution, yes, we can also just sell that alone to you because you already practice it for half day, yeah. So you just want that, yes, it's available, and it is a subscription base. So with this is the QR code for your registration. You may want to scan the QR code now. Okay, thank you. And my contact is at here. This is my contact number. And please register your interest. So thank you so much. I hope to see you in my training on the 3 days program. Now the QR code will also share other programs that ACP is offering, and you can actually give me a contact and find out more of our other programs. With this, I thank you so much for your 2 hours time, and please reach out, and happy ESG journey to you. you.